right, you've cleaned, staged, and launched. And now the offers are coming in. But here's the thing. Not all offers are created equal. And the best one isn't always the highest. Hey, I'm Leanna Martins, trusted Edmonton realtor, VP of Just One More Question and Agent to the Stars. Or at least smart folks just like you who want to skip the stress and actually win at the Edmonton real estate game. You're watching part 3 of 4 of Prep to Possession, my 4-part series for sellers. And it's your behind the scenes decoding for understanding offers, what the timing means, what the conditions mean, and how to know if a buyer is actually serious or just shiny on the outside. Hey, do you want a copy of my full 430 seller guide? It walks you from listing to possession on with smart tactics and strategy. It's going to tell you how to get an offer in 4 days and sold in under 30. All you got to do is just email me below at leanna@martinsgroup.ca, put seller guide in the subject line, and I'm going to send it right over. All right, so let's dig in. 1, offer timing and buyer psychology. So let's talk about the difference between selling with strategy and just crossing your fingers and hoping. With the 430 selling system, the goal is clear. It's competing offers by day 4 and a firm sale by day 30. It's not magic, it's marketing psychology. Here's how it works. You list on a Thursday when the most serious buyers and the highest volume of buyers are out on the market. You set a clear offer deadline by Sunday to create scarcity. It limits availability, and you stack showings during peak buyer days and times. It creates time pressure, and you build in just enough urgency and scarcity to trigger FOMO, fear of missing out. You keep the timeline tight so no one gets too comfortable or starts stalling, which happens all the time with buyers. Buyers' agents start asking, are others interested? And the answer, obviously, yes, and offers to be submitted by Sunday at 7 p.m. Now they're not just buying your house, they are potentially competing for it. So I want you to compare that to the alternative. You list whenever your house is ready, a couple social media posts and a Facebook and Instagram ad. Then, let's see what happens approach and cross our fingers. Hope is not a strategy. And if you want to see the full 430 selling breakdown, including the exact day-by-day timeline that I use to stack showings and drive competition, email me direct at leanna@martinsgroup.ca with seller guide in the subject line, and I'm going to send it to you. And I'll send you the same guide that I use with my Edmonton clients who want results, not wishful thinking. Section 2, understanding conditions. So this is the fine print that really matters. Conditions are the buyer's outs. So they're the escape hatches for them. And yes, they're very normal. Here are the key ones to expect if you're going to get an offer in Edmonton. So financing conditions, usually 5 to 10 days. Their lender needs to approve your property, not just their income. And next, home inspection. So again, it's usually 5 to 10 days. This is where surprises show up. Things like roof, electrical, grading, furnace, and sale of buyer's home conditions. It means that the buyer's offer depends on selling their current home, and there's much more risk to you. Reminder, no deal is firm until those conditions are waived. So basically, you just have a pending purchase contract. And yes, most buyers will come back with some kind of ask after the inspection. So please plan for it. All right, section 3. This is not just about price. Here's a little myth busting for you. The highest priced offer is not always the best offer for you. What else should you weigh in? 1, the deposit amount, buyer flexibility on possession date, strength of financing. So do you have a pre-approval letter or is a cash offer? If it's cash, that risk of failed finance condition is completely gone for you, but you need to be prepared. Most cash buyers tend to offer less because of the strength of the offer. Number and type of conditions as well is something to be considered. Maybe there's no inspection condition as the buyer is a contractor or a renovator. Less risk for you for the sale to go through. I want you to think like an investor here because risk matters just as much as reward. And depending on your risk tolerance, you're going to be more or less attracted to more money or less risk. Hey, if you had a crazy offer experience, share it below. I respond to every single comment, and whatever you share just might help someone else. Okay, so let's move into conditions, that dreaded inspection day. So here's a quick reality check that's really important. Even with a great offer, deals can fall apart. And that's why I always recommend preparing with a pre-inspection for my clients. So the inspection is coming no matter what, right? So we already know this, and it can tank your sale. And on the other side of the coin, in competing offers, it can encourage your buyers to drop that condition and give you, the seller, less risk for a sold home. So if you opt out of spending the $500 to do the pre-inspection and doing the maintenance repairs that come up with it prior to listing, expect your buyer, no matter what, to come back with something from that report. But the good news is the inspection is not a pass-fail. It's simply another negotiation that most sellers don't realize until it happens. So buyers will likely ask for a few things, hopefully less than the 40-page report that they get. So I want you to expect it and plan for it. That way, you're not blindsided. And if your home is priced properly and demand is strong, you will have leverage and far less asks from your buyers. If not, you're going to need to be more flexible. Okay, so what about backup offers and why most agents miss them entirely? So let's talk about a wildly underused strategy that could save your deal, the backup offer. All right, so here's the deal when you follow the 430 selling system. You're likely to get multiple offers, and that gives your agent the leverage and responsibility to negotiate you a backup. But here's what most sellers, and frankly, many agents, don't understand. A backup offer is not automatic. The buyer who didn't win has to agree in writing to go into second position, and that only happens if you've got a savvy realtor representing you. Many inexperienced agents totally miss this opportunity for their sellers because they themselves get wrapped up in the whirlwind of multiple offers and assume things are solid just based on demand when they never are. So until your buyer's conditions are removed, you are at risk. A backup offer only kicks in if the first buyer fails to lift one of their conditions. So whether it's financing, inspection, or sale of buyer's home. And it's a beautiful position to be in when you have a backup because buyer number one feels pressure because they know someone is waiting behind them and they cannot request a finance extension or any other condition amendment at all. If your first buyer walks, guess what? You're not bothered. You're not relisting and you're not deflated and disappointed. The backup buyer steps in and that deal moves forward. Crisis averted. But this only happens if your agent is thinking about it up front, before the first offer is accepted and while there's still momentum. So let me give you a real world example. A few years ago, I had an offer come in on my own listing. That means I wrote it. So because I couldn't represent both sides, that would have been a conflict of interest, the brokerage assigned what's called a delegate agent to step in and negotiate. No backup was negotiated. So by the time that I was looped back in the next day, the opportunity to lock in a backup for my seller was gone. No one wanted to play second fiddle. No one was interested in the conversation because it was too late. Upfront strategy and timing is everything with backup offers. And guess what happened? The deal died. So that meant that my seller went back on the market without that backup in place. Had I negotiated, there would have been a backup and that sale would have proceeded. I'm still salty about that one. Lesson, backup offers aren't just smart, they're strategic insurance for you. But they only happen if you've got multiple offers, the timing is managed properly, and your agent has enough experience to see the opportunity ahead of time. Hey, if you want to see how backup offers fit into the broader 430 selling strategy system, just shoot me an email, leanna@martinsgroup.ca, and put in seller guide in the subject line and I will shoot it right over to you. And if you are selling in order to buy, make sure you put another email out to me, leanna@martinsgroup.ca, and in the subject line of this, say move up guide. All right, that's a wrap. This is part 3 of the Prep to Possession series, and this was how to decode offers like a pro and know what actually matters when you're deciding who gets your keys. Hey, got a question about offers or deal breakers? Drop it in the comments section. I actually read them and reply. Don't forget to subscribe because part 4 is coming up. What happens after you accept an offer? We're going to take you through timeline to possession, my friends. Spoiler, you don't get to relax yet, but we are going to make it even easier for you. So I'll see you in the next video.